Hey, what's good, YouTube? Today we're gonna react to Why Did He Say This by Blackie Speaks, but let's get into a reaction. He's gonna be talking about NBA Youngboy. Let's see what
How
exactly
important is
Youngboy said
fatherhood
though.
to you, man?
Not really big on it, to be honest.
Now, why in the world did NBA Youngboy say that he's not big on fatherhood? That's a good question. What's going on with you today? Hope you're staying blessed out there, my friend. Thank you for joining me
Hey,
today.
he's
Today
keeping
we're
it
gonna have a little
real.
conversation about NBA Youngboy.
He's
Who's
keeping it
been making
real.
headlines for making some comments about how he's not big on fatherhood. So let's get straight into it, shall we? So the other day,
He is
NBA
young
Youngboy was
too,
doing an
so
interview with Bootleg Kev. And during this conversation that Bootleg Kev had with NBA Youngboy, he asked him a question about fatherhood, which NBA Youngboy then responded to by saying this.
For you, man, talk about fatherhood and how, obviously you do have a lot of children.
Yeah.
And I've been around you to see in a short amount of time that you're a great father. How important is fatherhood to you, man?
Not really big on it, to be honest.
What do you mean by that? You're not big on it? Like you're a family man. I'm here with you. I see it.
Yeah, but I'm only out. I'm only like in here because you live.
Oh, well, I don't believe
It's
it.
a crazy topic because I'm not the type like the sugarcoat nigga. But I'm four walls all day.
So as you could hear, Youngboy's response was pretty self-explanatory. He essentially said that he's not big on fatherhood, which was very
yeah.
disappointing to hear, and I'll get into that in a second. But this interview clip has been going kind of viral on the internet. A lot of people have been talking about it. Charlemagne the God with the Breakfast Club got special guests in the building.
Okay.
Blackie speaks. One day, manifestation, my friend. He decided to speak on this, and he gave him the Donkey of the Day award. Now, I got a couple things to say about this. First of all, man, pretty freaking sad to hear Youngboy speaking about fatherhood like
Yeah,
that, especially
true.
since, he's so big amongst the youth, and there's so many kids out there who actually look up to NBA Youngboy and see him as a role model. Some people have been giving him credit for, quote unquote, keeping it real, which is so stupid because no man should ever be saluted for not being big on being a father, which is literally one of the most important jobs of.
Mm, uh, I get where Blackie coming from, but it's like you should give him credit for being honest. Like he could have literally lied. He could have lied, bro. He could have lied and be like, yeah, I fucking love fatherhood, like, bro, it's amazing and all this other shit. But it's like, bro, he kept it 100. Like, don't like it like that, bro. Like, bro, he kept it real. He kept it real, bro. And it's like, bro, he's a young ass nigga. He's 23, but it's like he should take responsibility for his kids because it's like, bro, nigga got like 11 kids. Like, bro, at some point you gotta start pulling out and stop, shooting up the club. But it's like, bro, at least he being honest, bro. At least keeping it real. At least he keeping it real. Shit.
Being big
He could have
on
lied,
being a father, which
and a lot of
is
niggas
literally
lie.
one of the
So
most important jobs of this freaking world. There's people out there who've
that
been
is true.
saying, at least he kept it real. He was honest, which is something that Youngboy himself touched on. See, this is a crazy topic because I'm not the type to sugarcoat nothing. That's what Youngboy said, right? And then before that, he said, I'm not really big on it, to be honest. Speaking about fatherhood. Now, the craziest statement he made, I thought, was when he said, I'm only in here because you are here. Like, that sounds insane. Because the interviewer, Bootleg Kev, when he heard Youngboy saying, I'm not big on fatherhood, he kind of pushed back on it by saying, what are you talking about? I mean, obviously you're a family man. I'm here with you. You're here with your children. I've
Yeah,
seen
that was
you
wild.
being present with them. So what are you talking about? And then he responds with, I'm only in here because you're here. Now, the reason why that's a crazy statement is because it kind of sounds like he's implying that he's only using his child who was present during the interview as a prop. Because why would he say, I'm only in here because you're here, as a response to what he said otherwise? That's the only explanation here, right? Because that's what he said. I didn't put words in his mouth. You heard what he said. That's what he said. Now, for anyone who's not aware, NBA Youngboy actually has 11 children. And reportedly, he has 7 baby mamas. Now, this is crazy because NBA Youngboy is only 24 years old. And like we've been hearing for a very long time, right, according to science, your brain doesn't actually reach
Okay,
full
25.
maturity until the age of 25. So before his brain has fully developed, NBA Youngboy is literally sitting on 11 children. And that's a lot of people
That
to
is a
take
lot.
care of. That's a lot of bellies that need to be filled on a daily basis. Now, does NBA Youngboy have enough funds to
Yeah, he got the
finance
funds.
these 11 children?
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's a rich, famous, successful rapper. Of course he does. And that's not the conversation here, because he got enough money, we know that. But what he doesn't have is enough of him to go around
That
for
is
these
true.
11 children. From some of the research I've done, it sounds like a lot of these children that Youngboy has with these women, they're all kind of, scattered all around the country. And so, of course, especially with him being on house arrest, he's not going to be able to be there for them physically. But I'm sure he's providing for them financially. And providing monetarily is, of course, one aspect of being a father. The
That
other
is true.
aspects involve being mentally present, being physically present, being spiritually present, and just all around being an involved father in your child's life as much as you can. Now, for NBA Youngboy, it's obviously not possible because, first of all, he's on house arrest. Second of all, he has 11 children, and as far as I know, there's
Can
only
be
one
everywhere at
NBA
once.
Youngboy that exists. So the issue isn't the fact that he's not physically present with all of them right now at this very moment, because he can't even do that. The issue is the fact that the man decided to shoot up the goddamn club so many times until 11 children just popped up.
Yeah, which
That's
is
the
wild.
issue. To any young man who's listening to me right now, I am telling you,
Stay strapped,
please
man.
use protection if you're not ready to become a father.
Facts.
Having children at a young age, when you're not ready for it, is not something to play with. I know it feels amazing to go raw, but oh my goodness, that's like 2 seconds of pleasure, bro. 2 seconds for 18 years? I don't really think it's worth it. Thinking with that other head is gonna cause an 18-year-long migraine, okay? And you don't
That is
want
true.
that. Trust me. And plus, you don't even have a freaking job. What do you mean I'm gonna go in raw? The only place you need to go in is to that job center, broski. And that's why they say
get that
prevention is
bread.
better than cure. Because ain't no curing what Youngboy has brought into this world. He made a lot of, let's just say, decisions. Very bad decisions. He shot up the club about 1 billion times, and that's now brought him to a place where his attention is divided by 11 and some, because he also has to live his life and actually have and regain the energy to go and get that money so he can continue providing for his kids financially. And you know what the thing about these comments is? I don't think that Youngboy is saying that he doesn't want to be a father for his children. I think he's saying this because he's not really able to understand what the importance of fatherhood even means. And that's a very important point. Because if you guys did not know, when NBA Youngboy was 8 years old, his father was arrested and sentenced to 55 years in prison for a robbery gone wrong. And around that same time, his mother moved out the neighborhood and she left Youngboy with his maternal grandmother. So NBA Youngboy's own father hasn't been present in his life ever since he was 8 years old. So NBA Youngboy's biological father is serving a 55-year prison sentence. And his father is unfortunately not going to have the luxury to see his grandkids growing up. So there's a lot of very important lessons that NBA Youngboy missed out on when he was a little kid. Lessons that his father should have taught him. This young man doesn't even have the concept of what fatherhood is. So these comments, even though we should hold him accountable for his words, there's also a lot of just sheer ignorance that I don't really think Youngboy's even aware of understanding the weight of. Youngboy can't possibly know what he doesn't know. I mean, we know that he grew up without his father. He turned to the streets at a very young age and made gangs his family, and he got caught up in a system at a very young age. He became famous, and in the process of being famous and rising to the top, he was still stuck on the streets. And right now, at the age of 24, with 11 children on his team, or whatever you want to say, the man is on house arrest. He's successful, has a lot of money, is very accomplished, but clearly NBA Youngboy never grew up. He's still as immature as he was when he dropped that 30A baby record, which was back in 2016. And he was like 16 when that record came out. Children raising children. That's essentially what I think this is. Youngboy, like all of us, he's a product of his environment. The very rare thing about his story, however, is the fact that he's made it to a level in his life where he doesn't have to subject himself to the things that, for example, put his father in the prison system. Because he doesn't live in the hood. He has a, big-ass mansion in, I believe it was Utah. He's far away from the kind of life he grew up around. So Youngboy now should have, the mental bandwidth to contemplate on these things like fatherhood and why it's so important. Because, luckily for him, he escaped poverty. And so he doesn't have that fight or flight response oozing out of him that comes with growing up in poverty. Because now he's actually on the other side. So mentally, his mind should be more free to kind of contemplate on these things and open up his mind to a new reality and eventually come to a different conclusion that would eventually manifest itself during an interview like this as far as a response. So he can then break this generational curse. Now, having those tools is not just about the money, though, because look at this situation right here. NBA Youngboy has every single financial advantage, benefit, or edge in the book, which he's of course using to, take care of his 11 children. However, on a mental level, he still has the mind of that 8-year-old boy who grew up without his father, and he's still obviously dealing with the trauma that was caused from him not having his father around him. So the tools are completely irrelevant if the person who's being given these tools doesn't even understand or know how to utilize them in the best way possible.
That
Just
is
a little
true, too.
detour in this conversation, but shout out to all the fathers out there who constantly are showing up for their children despite all the obstacles
shout out
they
to the dads
face
out there.
in the midst of doing that. Because being a father ain't an easy job.
Nah,
and
it's hard.
I'm not speaking from experience because I don't got no kids yet, but I know what the sacrifices a father has to make looks like in order for his kids to live a better life. Being a
Facts.
father is not a matter of if you feel like showing up. It's a
Nah,
matter
you gotta
of
show up every
it's
day.
your duty as a man. And I know this
Being a
because
parent is
if
hard.
you guys did not know, I come from a single parent household. Up until the age of 6, I had both parents, and then something happened, and then I had one parent. As a young boy, I remember seeing the facial expressions of my father in certain moments of my life when he didn't really feel like showing up because he was busy providing for 3 children all on his own. And while he was busy doing that, he was dealing with issues of his own, and that involved spiritually, mentally, and psychologically, while still having the pressure of providing. But for him, it was about actually following through on an action of being mentally and physically present, because he knew that he had one job, which was to ensure that his children actually have a bright future. And for that reality to come to fruition, he had to make a lot of sacrifices. So when I said, shout out my pops, on God he helped, on my song Told Myself that I recently dropped, I really meant that, okay? That came straight from the heart. That was, of course, based on a real life story, and that record was a tribute to my family. And this is not just a father thing. This obviously goes out to all the mothers out there as well. Shout out to Mama Dukes, man, because hey, mothers be putting in a lot of work as well, okay? Let's not forget them. Because if you got a mother who's present in your life, okay, if you're maybe perhaps watching this video with your mother, how
Yeah, shout
about
out
you
Mama
look her
Dukes.
dead in the eyes right now and you say, Mother, I appreciate you for making all the sacrifices that you've made. Thank you. Because if it wasn't for that decision that you made that one night, my dumbass would cease to exist. So I think if you didn't have the luxury of your parents being present like this, kind of like NBA Youngboy, it's going to be very hard for you to understand the weight of it and why it matters so much. I've never walked a day in NBA Youngboy's shoes. Not that I want to, because I like walking in my own damn shoes. So I'm not really going to judge him too harshly, because I don't really know exactly everything that he's been through.
Yeah.
However, obviously for a man who has 11 children to say that he's not that big on fatherhood, there probably has to be something underneath the surface that perhaps maybe
under the
he
hood
needs to work through. I don't know, I'm just saying. Providing for your children financially,
Youngboy need to work
does
on
not
a
make
lot.
up for you
Even he
providing for them
addressed it. He need to
with
work on a
your
lot. So
time and your presence, because that right there is priceless. Ain't no price that you can put on actually being present.
That
in
is a
your
fact.
Children's lives.
That is a fact.
Remember that. Anyway, there we have the video. Before you leave, can you do me a favor and just hit the like button? I would really appreciate it, because it helps the video get promoted in the algorithm. So if you could drop that like, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Also, if you're not subscribed, maybe...
Hey, fire video from Blackie Speaks. Hey, I agree with everything he said. The only thing that I disagree with him was in the beginning. Yeah, what NBA Youngboy said is bad, because the importance of father and, like, a child's life is very, very, very important, okay? Very important. But it's like, from NBA Youngboy, bro, just to keep it real, like, doing an interview, like, he could have literally lied, bro. Like, he could have lied and just said what everyone wanted to hear, bro. He could have just capped. But it's like, bro, he kept it a buck and kept it real, bro. He kept it real. Was it good what he said? Nah, not really. But it's like, bro, he kept it 100. And it's like, bro, that's how he truly feel. That's how he feel, bro. Like, honestly, he should have shot of the club so many goddamn times to have 11 kids. But it's like, hey, Youngboy just irresponsible, bro. Like, he just was irresponsible. Like, shit. Like, NBA Youngboy got a lot to work on. If you listen to his music, like, bro, he legit be, like, letting out all his emotions and how he feel on the tracks. So it's like, all this shit that you hear in the music and shit, it seems like he got a lot of trauma going on. A lot of trauma, a lot of past, mistakes and past, like, relations that he had in the past that hurt him and shit. So it's like, bro, he really like, you know, wounded and shit. So it's like he really gotta like, you know, work through that type of shit. And he got 11 kids on top of that. It's like, goddamn, bro, like you got a lot going on. You got a lot going on, bro. So it's like, yeah, of course, Youngboy need to work on some shit under the hood. But it's like, man, I just respect it for him keeping it a buck during the interview. I don't agree with what he said. Well, honestly, not about if I agree or not, because like, bro, that's his opinion on how he fucking feels about it. But it's like, I definitely think, you know, fatherhood is fucking important. Like a father is definitely so important, and a mama, of course, so important in a fucking child development, because like, bro, a father brings that foundation and that fucking, like, you know, and fucking unity in a fucking relationship and shit. So I definitely think that a father is definitely so fucking important, but hey, that's how Youngboy feel, man. I just applaud for him keeping it a buck. Cause nigga could have lied and could have capped to niggas. He could have capped to niggas and told y'all what y'all wanted to hear. But he kept that shit a buck. And now the news niggas got something to talk about. Like, comment, subscribe. Suggest anything else to interact to, you know, down below in the comments. But check out in the next one.